What is up, everybody, and welcome back to The Intern. Today's another interesting video for you here on the channel. Maybe a video that you haven't seen in a little bit, but the season is starting. Today is the first day of the season. It is the injury report. You're going to see this every Monday, but today I did Tuesday because I wanted to really just say that today is the first day of basketball games. So let's get started with the injury report. It's going to be interesting because the beginning start of the season is not going to be as injury riddled as the later portion of this season. I'm gonna be honest. I think when you really look at this season, it's going to be, right now there's not that much injuries we're gonna see right now, but when we look at probably later on in the season, we're gonna see probably teams that are good diving for players and needing players to step up. So we'll talk about that later, but let's get started with, first off, the Boston Celtics. Like always, we're going to have our games, we're going to have the people, and then we're just going to talk about it for a second. So with games coming up for the New York Knicks, obviously Tuesday, opening game of the year, which is going to be an interesting one in my opinion. I think these are the two teams that should be winning the East, could be winning the East. So we'll see how well this matchup does, because I think it's going to set the pace for a while. Washington, Detroit. The main thing I want to put on here is Kristaps Porzingis. People forget that Kristaps Porzingis was injured and is going to be out for a while. So Kristaps Porzingis is going to be interesting to see who steps up for him. We're probably looking at, people like Al Horford, Sam Hauser. Those are going to be people that you can pick up on waivers, people that are going to be able to really step up for Kristaps Porzingis while he's injured. And we're looking for probably till December-ish. Probably December, January could be a little slower. If they are winning, they might try and take some time to bring him back in. But still, the Celtics team is going to be a good team. I don't think that the Celtics team is going to be bad by any standards at all. I'd rather the Celtics bet with them than against them. Up next, we have the Los Angeles Clippers with their new logo on the channel here. This one's going to be interesting because, again, some games coming up, 3 games, which is also, we're in a shorter week. There's usually sometimes 4 games, 3 games, barely 2 games. We're in our 2 to 3 range this year for these games. So we're going to have to see what happens with the Clippers. But Kawhi Leonard being out indefinitely is probably one of the biggest things. And PJ Tucker, I just threw onto here, out for personal reasons, aka the team says they're going to step away from him. Probably not going to be a part of this team for a while, if I would guess. Kawhi Leonard is going to be an interesting part of this, because Kawhi being out indefinitely is going to really set what this team is going to do this season, in my opinion, which is ultimately maybe not tank, but kind of get screwed out of playoffs. This team to me is really Harden and friends. Now with Kawhi being out, where you have, Terrence Mann, Zubac, Derrick Jones Jr. is in the mix now because he signed there. And then you really just have players that need one step up, or you signed off for depth. I would be interested to see how this Clippers team does if Kawhi is out for a month or so. Because for right now, Kawhi being out is not good if you're a Clippers fan. This is the opposite of good. And I think if you're someone that chose him early, you have to know that Kawhi is somebody that is not going to be playing back-to-back. It's going to be someone that's injured. We'll have to see what happens with him. Up next, we have the Memphis Grizzlies playing 3 games, and the Memphis Grizzlies injuries are already starting to pile up like they did last year. Jaren Jackson Jr. out day-to-day, is out for the season opener, potentially could come back here soon. Vince Williams Jr. is going to be out for 1 to 2 more weeks, had some surgery, I think, on his hand. Or was it Gigi Jackson? Gigi Jackson was foot. I think foot. It's probably going to be 1 to 2 more weeks till we see Vince Williams Jr. really in action. Not as big as a blow as Jaren Jackson Jr., obviously, but still someone on the bench that really showed out for a lot of people last year. Gigi Jackson's another one that is going to be out till December. I would assume so, with the injury that he had. Doesn't look as good. Another one of those players that was really, this is really hurting the power forward position. When you look at all these guys, they're power forwards. Next, you have like Brandon Clark. So if you're looking on waivers for already players to pick up, Brandon Clark is probably one of the biggest players because of the power forward position for the Memphis Grizzlies being gone. Then you have players like Zach Edey, probably drafted in some leagues after some good gameplay from him. But Zach Edey is somebody that is obviously going to be really good for a lot of players, and I think is going to be really involved with this Memphis Grizzlies offense and just really the team in general. When they have no center position, Edey needs to be there. So I wonder what's going to happen for them and what's going to go on this year, because if injuries are already piling up, that's a bad sign for the Grizzlies. Up next, we have the New York Knicks. Want to talk about their center position. Only 2 games for the New York Knicks, by the way. Big thing that we should be looking at. Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson is probably one of the crazier things to see here. Mitchell Robinson being out till December is probably the biggest blowout of here. Precious Achiuwa also now being out because of an injury in the preseason is another tremendous big blow. Right now, their center position is weak. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns, yes, they just got off a trade. Makes a lot of sense. Happy to see he's here. But they need depth. I'm not a Karl-Anthony Towns hater, but Karl-Anthony Towns cannot be like your only center on position and on the roster. Has to have a little bit more. I think Precious Achiuwa and Mitchell Robinson makes a lot of sense to back up a Karl-Anthony Towns, and with him out, probably looking at like a Jericho Sims. You're looking at some other players, potentially ads. I don't know. I don't know if I can 100% say that this team is going to be amazing. I don't think this team, I'm sorry. I don't think I can 100% say that this center position is going to be amazing. I don't think that just the centers right now is our biggest Achilles heel, and it's really going to show, I think, against this Celtics team, depending on how Cat does. Because right now, a little worrisome. I'd be a little worried if I'm a New York Knicks fan and I'm thinking about what's the future, what's going to happen. Up next, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. Interesting one here because of 1-3 games only. Still good, though. Jalen Williams is day-to-day. He looks like he will be playing, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Isaiah Hartenstein out for 5-6 weeks, so you're not getting him back till December, which is going to hurt a potential, starting lineup that they had with Chet and him. Probably going to see him, that's a quarter of the game's gone for him. That's a big, big blow in my opinion. Jalen Williams out day to day, should be starting for the first game. We'll have to see, but it's really the center position, power forward position. Another player, Kendrick Williams, I know for sure is out for the season opener. So Oklahoma City Thunder dealing with injuries as well. It's something that we probably would not want to see at all, because of people probably picking up Isaiah Hartenstein a little bit earlier because of the Thunder. Kind of hurts to see that one. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I will see you in the next one. Again, this is just the injury report. We'll probably be back this week with my rankings and updates. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.